So when I was a boy, I heard a quote. This quote has stuck with me my entire life. And that quote is, no success can compensate for failure in the home. And later I heard a follow-up quote that said, the greatest success that you will ever have will occur within the walls of your own home. And so I love to work. I love to do interviews like this. I love to engage in beautiful dialogue, but I love being a dad more than anything. And there was a time when I asked that question, and sometimes this brings a little bit of emotion to me. But I asked that question, what can I do to be a better dad? And my children said, you need to be here more. And it was a little bit bizarre to hear that because we lived in a very remote area. And so in order for me to apply my trade, I needed to be in other places. I needed to be away from the home. There was no way to make a living in the area that we lived in. And when I told them that, they looked right at me and said, Dad, we don't care about the money. We want you here. And they were fairly young. I think my oldest was 16 at that time. But to a T, every one of them told me that in that meeting. And it was right before Thanksgiving. I remember this happened to be an interview that I did at our annual family conference. And I went right back out on the road and went to work until the Christmas season. And when I was supposed to be home for a Christmas time event, I was late. My plane was delayed and I was a couple of days late, and I was late getting in. I was flying from internationally. And I got to the party that I was supposed to be at our church, and I saw my wife in line at the food. And when I thought I would surprise her, and so I snuck up on her. And when I got close enough, I heard her say, yeah, I know what it's like to be a single mom. Andrew's gone all the time. And then I looked around and I noticed that she was with all of the single mothers that were in the room. And it just was a stake to the heart. And that was just a few days before Christmas. I had a bunch of contracts that I was signing for the next year. And I called them up and I said, I can't come next year. I need to be here. I need to be with my family. And so I like to say in a very positive way that I squandered those opportunities so that I could be a dad, so that I wouldn't squander the experience of being a dad. And when I think of that now, they're all in different places. I have a daughter living in Argentina. I have a daughter that's away at college. I have children that live far away from my house and close to my house, and they're all gone. And I can do whatever I want now. I can work every day as hard as I want from early in the morning to early at night. And I can feel comfortable that I said no then, because I was engaged in the greatest successes of my life, raising a family.